flawless victory.
It's fine. A little trashy in a cute way. I'm doing my best.
No, like I'm literally gonna keep this in the video because I don't care.
I was literally in this what is it called? What is that thing that they do?
Oh! Don't worry about it. We good. I'm telling you, when you have one producer, bro.
You're doing this amazing.
Okay, first of all,
yes.
I have to talk about what happened this last hour because Tati and I were just literally trying to make this space work for what I wanted it to look like, and it took about an hour and a half. So this was an hour and a half.
Teamwork.
We've already been talking. We've already been doing everything. We talked about everything. I feel like definitely not. But first, I always love to introduce you as our first experience together. And so I met you through Jay, and we went to brunch together. And I had already hung out with Jay a few times. I saw him at a networking event, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring Tati, and I'm like, period, and I swear, you're the cutest thing. You had the most unique personality I've seen, especially That's sweet. For some reason, and Jay can totally laugh at this, and you guys too, because I did not strike Jay as even the way he dresses is very loud and bold and confident, and but he was not like that at the sales thing. So we're all wearing suits and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you came and you're like, oh, I do makeup. And I'm like, oh no, she's a creative. She has tattoos. Her hair is dyed. Your personality is loud and cute. I was not expecting that at all. So that's how we met.
Yeah.
Point blank period. I know things here and there we've worked together. We've had photoshoot stuff that we've done together, and that was so fun.
I'm really going to do more.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to do more. But I just wanted to know, you're not from Vegas.
No.
I want to know, where you're from, and, I guess, how did you get to Vegas?
I'm from southern Georgia,
Okay, I actually didn't even know that. Well, I was thinking Portland.
No, God, no.
You're in the South?
I was in, very close to, Georgia, Florida line, coastal Georgia. So by the beach, kind of, but, that was still kind of far. So, I lived farther than that. I lived in the middle of nowhere. Dirt road, 1 lanes, That's it.
So is this the small town you're talking about?
Yeah,
I was thinking Portland the whole time, but Portland's not small, I guess, right?
No, I did end up living there a couple of years ago, and it was, I don't know, it was a cute big town. It was a whole bunch of little towns next to each other. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
It wasn't like Atlanta at all. It was a lot, I don't know, little neighborhoods that happened to be next to each other.
Okay.
But it was so great. It was so great. It was so sad.
So how did you end up in Portland?
Oh my God, there's jumps before that. And I'm like, where did I start?
Oh, so you didn't go straight. Okay, you moved around.
No, I did. I bounced around like a little butterfly. I don't know. I just hopped around for a hot minute. I started in the deep south, and that's where we basically grew up. My family's originally from northern. So we do live in the middle of nowhere, and then when I was 18, I went to 3 different high schools. So I moved around the little southern area, but I didn't do a first big move until I was 18. As soon as I graduated high school, I was like, I'm leaving this small town. I'm a real city girl. So I moved to Atlanta with no plan. But the suburbs a little bit. Turns out driving in the city was scary.
For work, or was it just I want to go to Atlanta and figure it out?
I started I got my first job at 18 because I got my driver's license when I was 18 because I lived so far from everything. There's no transportation. You have to have a car.
Oh, wow.
Because everything's super far because there's nothing there. And I was a bad driver, so I didn't get my license until I was 18, so then I could get my first job. Restaurant industry. I did that for literally maybe a few months while I was in high school, and as soon as I had what I thought was a lot of money, which is definitely not, I just was I quit. I'm moving to the city, and I left with like
was
a
it
couple
like
hundred.
1,000? Oh. I was like 1,000?
Somewhere? No, it was definitely not enough. I was like a hostess for like 2 months, and I was like, I've done it. This is it. This is my time. I'm gonna be an artist.
Okay, so you wanted to be an artist.
I did, but not in this medium.
Okay, what was the first medium?
I thought I was gonna be a writer. I had my whole life set.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you write? Oh my god, I didn't know that!
That's so fun. I was a big poetry nerd. I was like a big poetry
god,
fan.
Don't tell me you do poetry.
Yeah, I do, but it's like
need you.
No. Okay.
Okay.
It's been a while. I just like I had my whole life set on thinking that I was gonna be a writer. And then writers go to like New York, but I didn't know how to get there yet. So Atlanta was the first stop. But I was like, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna be a writer. I'm gonna write poems. And yeah. And sometimes short stories, but mostly just like poems. And then that didn't work out. And so I just ended up in the service industry for a couple of years, and I wasn't really doing anything for a hot minute.
Okay.
No.
But why didn't it work out? Like, were you doing freelancing? Were you doing jobs?
For
like,
writing?
what?
No, I wanted to go to college.
Yeah.
And I got into the Georgia State for the writing program. And so I was like, gonna go to college, but I didn't really know how to do it. My family wasn't really sure how to do it, you know, money obstacles, and then we're all just like, I don't really know how this works. So I got accepted, and I went all the way up into the point where I got to the orientation, and I had gotten like a few scholarships, but it was there when everybody was like talking that I realized that I didn't really know how I was going to be able to afford this. So I ended up just not going because I was scared to try and figure that out. I had this weird thing about imaginary money, you know? I'm like, if I don't see it, if it's not there, like, how does that move?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So I just ended up not going. So then I didn't really know what to do after that. So I just stuck with the service industry for a hot minute. And I just wasn't really doing anything. Just floating around.
Were you like still like very expressive in the way you dress and
Oh my
having makeup?
God. If I could get into my like Facebook, if you could just see my old Facebook, like I've always just like, yeah, I've always kind of looked like that. So you can just imagine.
So it was
I'm like,
there.
it's always there.
It was there.
But
you were just like kind of like not really going towards that.
I was like a little no, absolutely not.
How long was that?
How long was which part?
Like, how long was, like, just not really doing art?
Oh, God, where was I? So, I was writing still, like, you know, coffee shops. But, like, that wasn't earning me money. I wasn't sharing anywhere. I was just working in the restaurant, and I didn't really know what the next step was supposed to be. I did that for, where was I? I got there at, like, 18. It was well past. I didn't really move until, like, maybe 24, I think. 24, 25. I'm bad with numbers. But I was already, like, chilling, for a hot minute. I just didn't really know what you're supposed to do next. I didn't go to college, and in my brain that meant there was nothing really you could do. This is what people do, because it kind of gets ingrained in your brain when you're like in school. They're like, this is the only path, and I was like, I don't know what happens to me now. So I think I just fell through a really sad time, and I felt like I didn't have any skills, so I just stayed working in the restaurant industry for
So, what happened for you to come back?
To the office?
You're so unserious.
What got me to do makeup? Or
to get back into it. Was it makeup?
The art?
Yeah.
The art part? I think it was makeup, actually. It's always something that I did for myself, for funsies. Because, again, I always kind of looked crazy. And the minute that my mama said I could put makeup on, I was testing the limits. I lost my train of thought.
How do you get back into it?
Oh, so I've been doing makeup on myself for fun.
Yes, that was like the whole time too, right?
Yeah,
so
I always
already
did
like
it for fun. Sometimes I posted on Instagram. I tried the YouTube thing. That was really hard. So I was always doing it. It was always something that just like made me happy, but it's not something I thought you could make like money off of. It was just a thing you do for fun in your room. you know.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
So I keep hearing like, you know, like, yeah,
Oh.
and I'm curious to know, are you like the only creative person in your family? Because you say things that are like, you know, you're not supposed to, or da-da-da-da. I'm wondering if, like, you're the only one, or...
I am, yeah.
Period! Yeah. We love to hear that. Yes!
My other sisters are artistic, for sure. They do art things. But I'm the only one who's, I guess, like,
doing
living off, yeah.
That's so... Congratulations.
Thanks!
Yeah.
Scary sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can literally tell you on that. I've been asking, like, the other, you know, in the other interviews, like, are you the only one? It's always like, yeah. Yeah, I'm the only one. Like, is it hard? Like, yeah.
I think it's a little scary.
It's scary.
Then you don't really know.
But it gets so easy, though. It gets easier. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It does. My parents are so supportive. They're
like
rooting for me all the time.
That's how you
Sometimes it feels very unreal. I'm like, oh.
Do you find yourself now, like, surrounded by people who you're just, like, it's a lot of support?
Oh, yeah. Aww. I think I found a very good, just little groupie network here that I think I've been looking for a minute. So, yeah, it feels really cool.
And, okay, so let's talk about, like, that Portland to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's kind of, like, different. I haven't heard that before.
I've just been bouncing around.
Yeah.
So when I was in Georgia, I had a roommate, and her girlfriend was from Portland or Oregon or something. And she told me, because, like, mind you, still, I'm in Atlanta, it's a bigger city, but it's still, like, my hair was a problem, my piercings were a problem, people didn't like the way I looked.
Oh.
It caused me problems, like it did in the South. I was like, in my head, I got stuck in there, this random little grain. I was like, people like me do well in Portland. I have to go to Portland.
Okay. I can see that.
I was like, that's where the people like me are. I have to get to Portland.
I can understand that.
So I just had not visited, not nothing. And in my head, I was like,
you moved there.
I'm doing it. I did it after, so I didn't get to Portland directly. I pit stopped Vegas. And then once I was at Vegas, I was close enough to try Portland. So then I went to Portland.
Okay.
And then Portland didn't work and I came back.
Okay.
The best all around.
So what did you like about Vegas? Or did you like it? Or what was
I
it?
hated it, actually. I thought Vegas. Vegas was gross.
Why?
I think it was partly because I had not found my people.
Yeah.
I had a really hard adjustment here. It was a lot harder than I really thought it was going to be. Because even when I was, like, living in Atlanta, I was more, like, in the suburbs. So when I moved to, like, a city, and, like, the traffic and the people and everything was just, like, really hard. It was almost like culture shock, and I'm so mad because I never thought of myself as, like, small town. But I was like, oh, no.
Oh, it was a little humbling.
This is scary.
Yeah.
This is actually very scary. Driving gave me so much anxiety. Wow. I was unemployed. I was just stressed out, and all I knew was the Strip, which is not my vibe. So I was like, what am I supposed to do here? And I was miserable for a hot minute. I also think I just got stuck.
Is that, like, when you went back to Portland?
That's when I went to Portland, yeah. Okay, I stayed here for, like, a year, and I was like, I can't stand it. I'm this close to Portland. I should just go. Okay,
so you go. And what happened?
So I just go. The pandemic hit, like, 2 months later.
Oh, my God. You must have been like, bruh. Portland.
Oh.
Yeah. Pandemic hit.
Right as I, like, moved out there, I was looking for a job, and I was staying at, what is that thing? Airbnb, but it was, like, a long-term Airbnb, and then the pandemic hits, and I'm, like, staying in this random man's house, like, for months. And I was like, la, 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 the whole world is shut down. I got in a job.
Oh, my God, I can't imagine, like, you weren't even in your own house.
No. And I don't know why I stayed. In my head, like, very idealistic dreams. I was like, it has to be Portland. I'm going to find everything I'm looking for in Portland. I just have to get there. So I was like, the world is literally shutting down. And I'm like, Portland. But once I get to Portland, everything's going to work out. I was convinced that all my dreams were going to come true. It didn't work!
Aww.
And the whole world was on fire. It was wild.
It
wild
really
time.
was.
It's weird to think about. Yeah. I ended up staying out there. I'm bad with numbers, but like a year, 2 years, and I hated every second of it. But I refused to come back home. Wait, I was like, I'm in Portland now.
Did you go to Portland and you were like doing art, or what was hosting?
I was a serving job was the first one that I got, and then everything shut down. And then my second job was like a bartending job, but it was still everything was distance and whatever. We all wore masks. Nobody was in there. We were all just but it was a job, so.
And it was like
I did that.
The pandemic. You just felt the pandemic the whole time when you were in Portland.
No, it was terrible.
Wow.
And then I only did make one friend, and she was also a makeup artist.
Cool.
So I was like, oh, I found one.
Okay.
It was great. Love her.
Ooh, that's so tough.
It was a hot mess, and I was just so convinced I had to stay though, because if I just gave it enough time, it was gonna work out. It did it. It's fine.
So you came to Vegas, a place that you hated. Because
my parents were here. Because I needed to start over. And where else was I gonna go? Some mom and dad's house. Yeah. So I did.
Okay.
So I didn't plan on really staying. I just didn't really know what I was gonna do. So I was just hanging out.
Okay. With your parents' house? Like
Yeah, I had to move back in with my parents.
And were you still doing art?
Yeah, I started makeup.
Cool.
I did an occasional like photo shoots and stuff there in Portland when I could, when things loosened up a little bit, but I was definitely living off of bartending. And then when I was here, I started living off of makeup instead. But yeah. The first time I was here, I couldn't land a serving or bartending job to save my life. There's a lot of weird Vegas rules and a lot of like, well, you have to have Vegas experience to work in Vegas. And I was like, well, you won't give me the job. How do I get the Vegas experience? So makeup was the one thing that I had from like a friend that I had made when I was out here the first time. She was working for like an agency, which I'd never worked for agencies before. So I was like, can you help me get a job? And she did. And then I just had to do it, which was scary because then you have to like drive around to people. And so I had to drive in the Vegas traffic, which had stressed me out last time, but I was like, this is the only way that I can make money. You just have to do it. And the very first appointment that I had, I was like counting down. I was so stressed. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive. I was so stressed. Now I'm like, honking my horn. By the way, I'll cut everybody off, but only if they start with me first. I'm very polite. If your light's on, I'll let you over. But like some of these people, aggressive. So you're gonna let me in.
Vegas drivers are crazy.
This is my exit.
Go ahead.
Like, it took me a minute though, but now I got it.
Oh my god. Now you're a native. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Vegas now?
I like it a lot more. I do. But I think I found a smaller group of like, just artists, creatives, and more just like low key than just the strip. Because like I said, I didn't really know there was anything beyond that. So getting past that part, I was like, oh my god, there's so many cool people here. And that's great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so after like that first experience that you had, like what was it after that? Was it like hard still?
What experience?
Like after your first experience, like you have to drive over and do somebody's makeup.
Oh my god!
Like was it hard for a minute before you really like got back?
It was really scary. I just like so like the reason that I never went to like the city when I was in Atlanta is because I didn't know, because my town was so small, dude. Like I didn't realize all the traffic rules. Okay, so I didn't know what you were supposed to do. I didn't know left means yield. I thought green means go. So you go, and I didn't understand why I'm about to take everybody out. There's pedestrians everywhere. I was like, why is this so scary?
Yeah,
it was horrible.
I get that.
Oh my god. And I'm not like the greatest driver, not like in a, hit anybody way. Just more like is that a curb? Just check it, like a hip check, So I was just like not feeling great about it. But after the first one, it went good, so I was like, okay, so, I'll try for the next one. And then it went good, and then I just kept doing it, and then I just stuck with it.
Was the makeup part easy?
The makeup part was terrifying. It scared me.
Oh my god, okay, so you were like going through every day with so much anxiety. But you probably were like, oh my god, I'm over it.
Dude, just tears every day. Just like, I was so anxious. Everything was just gnarly, and I was
Oh
like,
my
I just want it to be easy, and I don't have time for it to be easy because this is all I can do right now. And it was
that
so
is like
stressful.
that like stage in your life is so like you're just sitting there, like you have to just go through it.
You just have to do it.
Because if you quit, like, okay, we still gotta find something.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make my friend. That's the thing too, is like I'm weird with like someone else is relying on me. Because if you used my name to get me a job, and then now I let you down, like like you just have to do it. You know, there is no questioning. There is no. You just have to do it. I was like, oh god. And it was scary because I've never done like agency work before, which is. There's definitely different veins in the industry, and that one is just like a whole different ballgame, especially Vegas. It's a lot of full glam, lots of bridal, which I didn't start on, and I just had to figure it out, and I was like, okay, we're doing this. We're going. It was wild.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's funny looking back.
Yeah.
Aww.
It's been a funny journey. I still remember like the first makeup that I ever like did. And it was like she wanted a smoky eye, she wanted wing liner, and she wanted red lipstick. Like the holy trifecta of the scariest things that you could ask for. And I had like, what, 45 minutes, an hour to do it? You just have to do it? And I'm like, go for it. Don't ask questions. I remember her to this day.
Do you ever like look back at your work and ever like be like, damn?
All the time.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Less now. But I think, oh God, I don't want to. But like, I think part of you like to be like I don't know, like sometimes you have to have a bit of a critical eye, okay? Just because I did it doesn't mean it's perfect. And it doesn't have to mean like that's the worst thing that's ever been seen. But if I know that I can do better, it's like, okay, well, how do I figure out how to do it better?
Because you have that potential to just get better at it.
Redemption, yeah. Like it's a skill you can work on. So I'm like, okay, I know what went wrong. Next time we'll try this. It's gonna be fine.
Have you ever had like a bad experiences with like somebody?
A few.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no. Was that in the beginning?
Yeah, I've had some weird experiences for sure, and I'm just like, oh. And then no, because it is a very weirdly like personal thing. I don't realize sometimes until I'm talking to other people that like I'm literally in someone's face on some crazy days, like just.
It's kind of like really trustworthy.
It's a very intimate.
Put a lot of trust into you.
It's interesting.
Yeah. That's like kind of like a fun job though too, because like
really
I've
cool.
seen you do makeup like on a mirror before, and you're just like, you know, you're like jumping, you're like, oh my god, yeah,
that's
fun. Yeah, and you have so much energy, and like I'm like that's like so fun because like I think getting your makeup done can be kind of scary too, especially like if you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like I've gone and got my makeup done. I'm like, girl, I hope they, you know what I mean? I hope they like slay. You feel me? What was I saying? Amira. Yeah, and you had so much.
She's so cute.
You had so much energy. Like, were you like that in the beginning too, or now is it like, are you more comfortable and relaxed that you're doing it, or is it more of like you have to like kind of box at the same time?
I don't know, man. It almost like overlaps. I feel like with like serving and like bartending, where you almost have to like read it. Like sometimes like you can just chill, and sometimes you're like, okay, like this is not really the vibe, and you kind of have to like match, I feel like. So which is also a weird like energy thing through the day. That's like sometimes we're like chilling, and then sometimes we're like chilling.
You have to read the room.
Yeah, you have to see where they're at.
Important skill.
You have to meet them there. See, I didn't learn that in college. I learned that at the restaurant.
That's what I'm. You know, sometimes like look, I dropped out as well. So, but I feel
it's
like
hard.
But I feel like college is a great tool, and they have a lot of tools, resources attached to it. But at the same time, it's like if you just do it, that's the best education too that you can have. Cause like you'll just learn, boom, like oh yeah, like that wasn't her vibe. Like maybe I should tone it down, and that's it. You can't teach that in college where it's like you don't know, like you don't know who you're gonna meet, if they're gonna be in a weird mood or. Cause I used to do tours.
Oh my god, how cute! No way!
Yes.
Wait, where are you touring? Where are you touring?
So I used to tour the Valley of Fire.
Oh my god, how cute!
And Antelope Canyon.
That sounds like fun.
It was so fun. And as a Sagittarius, it was like such a vibe. I loved going out every day. Like it was like 8 a.m. and like we go hiking like, all day. It was like my favorite job.
That sounds so cute. Oh my god.
It was so fun.
That sounds like a great job.
There's a skill there that is like I have people in my van for hours. Like I have to like
Yes.
And there might be, okay, so before the pandemic hit, because it hit and then like everything changed again.
Yeah.
But when it was just like popping, let's say we have 9 people in the van, but it's like 3 couples. You know, so like one couple is from China, the other couple in the back is from Thailand. I had a lot of like Asian people, and then they're from Japan, and it's like it's so different that they don't talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's a skill to like get everybody matched on the same energy, and it's not tour guiding at all. You know what I mean? But you just go out there and you're like, how do I get these people to really like me and be comfortable with me?
Have a good time.
That's like such an important part, I think.
Part of it is like the experience as well. Yeah. Like, I think it matters. Good energy, good vibes by the end, you know?
Yeah. And then did that come to you like early, or was it like...
The vibes?
Yeah, like the vibes are important.
I think I've always been a very expressive, shock and surprise theater kid. So I've always just been kind of like, woo! And like just the whole idea of a show like in the very like purest form, like just people putting on this whole experience, you know? I've always just felt very like, when it comes to that, like just very close to it. Yeah. So like when I started in the restaurant industry, like it just happened to be the first job that I got, but I liked it a lot because once I moved to like serving, I was like, oh, this is like a thing. This is like a show. This is an experience from end to finish, and like my whole day, nothing matters. You and me, we're gonna have the greatest time, and you're gonna leave, and you're gonna be like, wow, what an adventure. That show was great. I was like thrive on when I got any reviews that had my name in it. Like, Tatiana was great. I was like, yeah, she was. She's your favorite. It's me, your friend, Tatiana. Have a great time. See you next time. I love. I love to be so loved. Much. I'm like, let's have fun. This is supposed to be fun. Let's have a thing. And then that's it.
Let's talk about the photo shoots that we did together.
I love them.
You came and wanted to collaborate with multiple artists.
Yes.
Let me know, how did this idea kind of spark up, and like what were the next steps after that?
So I've always like in my head wanted to have like a creative like group of people, but I think I was just kind of in a funk, and the thought in my head was like, the art will come to me like when it comes to me. Like right now I'm just doing what I need to do to like survive. So, like, it'll be later. And then I felt like, you know, a year had passed, and I still wasn't doing anything that I was, like, particularly proud of or excited about, and I was frustrated. So, I still, in my head, wasn't exactly sure what I was supposed to do next. And then I went to this, like, makeup seminar, and I was high-key, I was tripping. And they're like talking, and they're just talking about, one of these guys, he said something about like, there are people who like reach a point and they stop and they say, hey, this is fine, and that's totally okay. But there are people who like want to do something more, da-da-da-da-da. There's people who want to make a statement. And I was like, I want to do that. And I was like, how do you do that? And he was like, stop waiting for it to fall in your lap, and you're supposed to just go do it yourself.
Oh, wow, I spoke to you.
I started crying.
Oh, you're so emotional, huh?
I am. Oh, my gosh. I cry over everything. I'm such a BB.
It's like a curse, but sometimes...
Every emotion I have is connected to my tear duct. If I'm happy, I'm crying. If I'm sad, I'm crying. If I'm mad, I'm crying. I'm
Inspired?
Gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. It's easy. Oh my god. It's disgusting.
What's your moon?
I don't know. I look at it and I try to remember every time, and you know what? It leaves me. And
oh, no worries.
I don't believe in numbers. I forget them. Something about numbers, I block them out. It's trauma from math. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh my god, me too. When it comes to math,
I don't know.
No, I'm like, can y'all do it, please? Like,
yeah, I don't want to look at it. So, like, all I know is, like, the 1, and then the rising, I don't know. There's too much calculations, and I'm scared of it.
Oh my god, I don't even know what we were talking about.
Me neither. I'm so sorry.
You got me gone.
Our photo shoots. I was crying. I was crying in the seminar like a dummy, having all the feelings, and I was like, I want to do that. And I have like all these random notes like in my phone app because I didn't bring a notebook. So I'm just like typing away, and I'm like listening, and I'm like writing notes, and I was like, this is how I do the thing. And one of the things was just like, don't keep like waiting for things to happen, and don't tell people, hey, I want to work with you, and then stop there.
Oh yeah,
they were like,
I totally feel that.
Where's the rest? They're like, if you're gonna approach somebody and say, let's do something, then you need to put it together. You need to have a plan in place first and say, this is the vision, then let's do that. Otherwise, it's like a, hey, you're cool, I'd love to work with you.
It's just,
cool,
it's
keep me in mind for something, maybe. Yeah. And then you never hear from them again. Yeah. But you're all friends on Instagram. And you see them doing stuff, and I was like, I want to do that too. Yeah. I was like, how do I do that? So, literally on the way back, because I went with my mom, so on her shifts driving, because it was in California, I was just like going through my phone, and I started making all of these like Pinterest boards that I had like thought of and never did anything with, and started like putting the stuff together. And so I put together like 2 different Pinterest boards, and then I just sent them out to 2 different people, and I was like, hey, how do you feel about this? And then I just like locked them in one by one by one. I was like, hey, we're doing something. Look, I did it. It's happening. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Logistics.
And was it like, did you know who you were going to do it with? Like,
I had the idea of who I wanted to do them with, and I think I curated like the look of the Pinterest boards, and I tried to match them to like the photographer and the model that fit better, I was like, she really loves doing this kind of thing, and and they really like doing this one. And I was like, I think this would be like up your alley, and they'd be more down to do it, and they'd feel good about it, because I want them to do something that like they feel proud of too. I want to be like, oh, you're just doing a thing to do a thing. I'm like, no, I want you to do something cool that you can use that like, fits your vibe, and like then you have stuff to work with that feels creatively fulfilling, and so do I. Yeah. And everybody's happy. You had a great time. Let's do it again.
Yes. And what, because you did 2 different things for both photo shoots. And did you end up having any more?
Not yet. Yeah. Not yet. Okay. Everything got wild.
Oh my God, what happened?
The weather. It's been cold.
Yes.
It's been terrible. I got stressed. I was working a lot, so I was like, okay, I'll pick back up, and then things slowed down a lot, and then I got sad because I was nervous. But that's what, the weird part of like being freelancey is just like comes and it goes and it goes, and I think I'm gonna be fine, and something happens, and I was like, oh God, what have I done? And then I was sad. Then I was scared to leave the house. I was like, I don't know if I should do anything, because then you start feeling guilty, I was like, I should be earning money or doing something else. Yeah. And like, I don't want to do anything artistic right now. Yeah. Don't deserve it. I'm stressed out.
I have to mention that I think I had met you before I started freelancing, and you told me the most valuable advice.
I did?
Yes. What? Because I didn't know what you meant, and you were like, you said something like, it's not going to sound deep, but it really...
What did I say? It was so profound.
Like, there who commits now.
I can see it in the movie. Like, that is my life. I'm like, it does look like that in my flashback. It does. That is so and I'm wearing something really great.
Period. I know you are. But you basically told me, you're like, freelancing is crazy. You said, sometimes you feel like you're going to be rich forever, and then some seasons are just slow. And it is hard. It's really hard. Yeah. And you told me that, and I remember that stuck with me so much. And I was like, when I went through my hard times and everything, I'm like, I can't quit though, because this is kind of like what it is. Like, you have to figure out that other income. Yeah. Like, you just have to do it.
You end up doing all the craziest, like, odd jobs, just random, just throwing yourself at things, because that's all you can do. You can't really be, you don't have time to be nervous about this or no, you just gotta, like, go for it and hope for the best. Like, go! And I really think of it as like, have you ever seen Broad City?
No.
Oh my God, it's a really good show. But there's one of the girls who does like all these odd jobs. Like, she's like a dog walker and and she's a temp for this, and she just like does random things, ends up in random places. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm just like, all right, well, this is what it takes to make this happen right now, and like that's what you're just gonna do it.
Oh my God.
You just do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you can't even afford to like say no.
Yeah, you just say yes. I've done some stupid stuff for.
Oh my God, can you explain one of them?
One of the stupid things I did. Yeah. I literally worked. What was it? It was this like first. Oh God. Okay, so it's a Craigslist job for a makeup artist for some video, whatever. It's only like $100, and they don't have any set hours. So like, it won't be any more than 8 hours for $100. But I was so stressed. I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
For $100, I was like,
yes. And there's like, could lead to other opportunities. I was like, I could make $100 again. You know, I could do that twice. That's $200. So I did it, and I went,
That's
and
so
like
sick.
it was. I'm not gonna lie. I had a moment of doubt when I was driving too, because it's somewhere in the depths of Vegas, and it's looking sketchy, and I was like,
damn.
what have I done?
Craigslist.
And it's Craigslist, and it's just an address. I sent my mom my address. I'm like, I'm gonna text you throughout the day. This is my location. And I go in and I go to the thing. They were fine, but it was like 2 dudes, 2 girls, and me, and that was it in this house. And then we're just like filming, and it's definitely like someone's house, really small thing, and then it just keeps going, man. Like they were not. It was fine, but then it kept going, and it kept going. And it kept going, and I'm just waiting. And I was like, God, I just want to go home. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I wanted to leave so bad, and I couldn't. And it just keeps going.
Girl, you could have left.
I was like, love it, I hadn't got paid yet. You know, I needed my
$100 is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, so when are you gonna pay? At the end of the day, they give me a little $100, and I leave. And I was like, why did I allow that? Why did I?
Was that you did their makeup or something, or?
Yeah, like so it was like the 2 dudes were like the directing produced, whatever, and then there was like one girl who was like the star, and then there was one girl who was just like crafty, taking care of like snacks and location stuff, and then me. And I was just like, you know, changing her lipstick, and then like she came with makeup on. It was a wild experience. I was just like, why am I here? I was like, I don't understand what I'm here for right now, and like, can I just have the money and leave? And then it took so long. It was so weird. That was dumb.
I can look back and like literally, it's just like I can't believe sometimes that there's people out there that like charge that and just put you through hell and don't be aware. They don't be aware. Yeah. They're just like, no, you're.
Like, well, this is money. Do you do the job? And I'm like, all right, correct.
No, we're like,
we'll take that. I will take whatever that is. At least it wasn't free.
Oh my God.
You know.
I know you're not good with numbers.
I am a hot mess.
But did it take a long time for you to understand your own worth?
Yes.
Money-wise?
I still.
Still? It's a little hard?
Absolutely.
But are you better now?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yes, we're definitely better.
That's what it is, though.
Okay.
That's what it is, though. We're going through it every day.
Yeah, like usually, you know, they just like set the thing. Like now it's like, well, I am deserving of this. But that's been a whole like life transformation. But yes, I do better. Gross.
Yo, we're nearing the end.
Yay!
But
perfection. I made it.
But I guess if there's any like advice, I guess you can give people. You really give good advice, so don't think you don't. Don't think you don't. Hold on, before you even talk, hold on.
Okay,
I will say,
yes.
Tati really helped me put this room together. You have no idea, like. Not this thing, but like just this right here.
The entire setup.
It was an hour and a half, and the whole time she's like, "You got it. You got it. You're doing great. You're working so hard. You're amazing." No. The whole time, even she started getting a little stressed out, and I was like, "Girl, you're right. Like
everything is great."
I loved that energy, but not advice, but like I don't know, like. You know, maybe some people who are just entering the freelance world, the creative world, you know, doing something crazy for the first time. Yeah. Like, what's a little nugget?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. No idea. I was like, what do I know about anything? I don't know, man. Just do it and hope for the best.
Let's go.
Jump in, ask questions later.
Yep. Period. No, you ain't. Thank you so much, Tati. We loved having you.
Oh,
it was lit. Period.
Oh
love you.
I love you with this. Go team.